just wanted to talk about the state of the Giants, some of the coaching, and how I feel about some of the coaching. So I'm not going to waste any more time. I'm not going to try to have some, you know, fantastic opening or something like that. I need a couple of coaches going. And again, I hate to say that. Because, again, we're talking about people's livelihood. But I'm just talking about what's best for the New York Giants and certain things that I don't understand. And when I think about the New York Giants, the thing that puzzles me the most is this offensive line. The offensive line. I remember when Dable got hired, and he was bringing Bobby Johnson with him, and all I remember is you see Bobby Johnson at every pro day, at the combine, working out the offensive line. You're thinking that this guy has a I don't even know what to call it. He has a connection with that position, with the offensive line. You know everything is pointing in the right direction. You're thinking, okay, we got a guy that can coach up this offensive line, and then when you see players not developing, and then for this season, players taking steps back, you have to look at certain positional coaching schemes, whatever you want to call it, and say, you know what? Nah, that's not doing it. Some changes need to happen. And when I think about Bobby Johnson, I said it a few weeks ago too, I need a change. And we're still early enough in the season where you can change the scheme, the offensive line scheme. And it's crazy. I don't even know if you need to change the entire offensive scheme as far as the line goes. They're pass pros. But something has to give. Something has to happen. Something needs to change fundamentally with the New York Giants as far as what this offensive line can and can't do. There's no reason why there still should be this many miscommunications with the offensive line. Why can't we pick up stunts? Why is Evan Neal not developing? Why is he still getting beat in the same way, week after week? Azudu, one thing coming out of college was his versatility. He put it together, for the Arizona game. But since that Arizona game, he's looked awful as well. McKeithen, like a rookie, was hurt all last year. He shines in some cases, but overall, he's not up to par as well. And I know you're asking a lot from these offensive linemen, but you're a paid professional. The least you can do is look better week after week, show improvement. And then we see a clip of Bobby Johnson, being interviewed, and he's talking about the improvements that people don't see in practice, but they got to make sure that those improvements show on the field. Are you kidding me? What improvements? You're saying that we're not seeing the improvements. I don't see anything. Trust me, if there was an improvement, we would see it. If there was any type of improvement, we would see it. It's not just assignments, it's also penalties. It is crazy what's going on with the New York Giants. And Brian Dable has to look himself in the mirror or wake up in the morning and think about, I got to make a hard decision. I might have to fire my friend. But here's the thing. If you don't take care of that situation, it won't be you making the decision of firing your friend. It'll be you getting that pink slip. You not being able to provide for your family. You losing the opportunity that you worked so hard for. Brian Dable waited 20 years to get a coaching job. I remember him saying that in the introduction about how long he's waited. He's prepared for this. This is his moment. Had a great year his first year. Turned water to wine his first year. Getting his New York Giants to the playoffs. He did that. And now we're talking about 5 weeks in, and the foundation is crumbling. You got to make a hard decision, man. And it's not just Bobby Johnson. It's also special teams. You're also giving a side eye to Mike Kafka with the offensive plays. But we really don't know what's going to happen. Now, here's the thing. For a lot of people that are like over Daniel Jones, I'm not quite there yet as far as being over. I will accept anything that happens. I'll say that part. I'm not going to fight against it. But for those people, you get to see Tyrod Taylor behind this offensive line, and two things can happen. He can either continue to look like the New York Giants quarterback, which was bad, getting sacked multiple times, or something else can happen and he's able to be functional behind his offensive line. That's what you can see. That's what you might be able to see. And that's what I'm holding on hope for, because for me, at this point in time, I don't care who the quarterback is for the New York Giants. I want to win games. I want to win. I'm sick and tired of losing, and I'm sick and tired of people laughing at us, and I'm sick and tired of just looking bad, especially on prime time. And here we go with another Sunday night football game, prime time. Hopefully we get Saquon Barkley back. But it's not looking good for the New York Giants, man. It's not looking good for the New York Giants. And I can't sit here and wait, for like the Washington's game. That's not a guarantee. For the Jets, that's not a guarantee. All these other games are not guarantees. You know why? Because we're one of the worst teams in the league. We're one of those teams, and nobody thought we would be the worst team. Even if you don't like Daniel Jones, nobody thought we would be this bad or look this bad at this point in time right now. To the point where we're talking about firing people. Not just struggling, not just losing games. We're talking about firing people. People deserve to lose their jobs, and that's where we're at right now, 5 weeks into the season. Now, I will say this also. Our first 5 weeks of the season outside of the Arizona game, these are tough teams that we played against. Teams that are pretty good. And, losing these games was not like it was going to be some big shock to everybody losing these games, but it's the way that we've been losing, the way that we've been looking, and that's what's so discouraging when it comes to the New York Giants. That's what makes it so bad, is the way that we're losing. We're not competitive. A team that was competitive last year with a roster on paper that was worse than the roster that we have right now is not even competitive. And that's the thing that's so discouraging when I think about the New York Giants. That's what's so discouraging. Nobody wants to see anybody get fired. Like, you don't want to call for somebody's job, man. I mean, unless you're just that type of person, you don't want to do things like that. Again, people have to, provide for their families. These are men providing for their families, women providing for their families. These, the coaching staff, front office, these people, this is what they do for a living, to provide for their families. So when you say, oh, this person needs to be fired, at least when I think about it, yes, there's a human aspect to it. But I know if I don't do my job, I'm getting fired. No question to ask, and nobody's going to care. So when we're looking at the failures of this team, I care, but I don't care when it comes to what they need to do to improve. And I'm over it. I'm tired of it. But again, we're still talking about these New York Giants versus the Buffalo Bills. And again, I can't wait like every week to see this game. The storyline is a little bit different this time around. We might be getting Saquon Barkley back. We do have Tyrod Taylor starting. I wish we had our entire offensive line there too. I also wish that Daniel Jones wasn't hurt. But, you can't get everything that you want. And we're stuck with what we're going to run out there with Sunday night. And it's not going to be pretty. But again, any given Sunday, anything can happen. But that's just going to be, my video talking about a couple things. The coaching, what should happen with that, Tyrod Taylor getting his first start, and then possibly some players coming back. And hopefully, we can do something special to try to get back into the winning column, for this season. 1-4, a lot of games left to play, and we need to see exactly what's going on. It's not too late to turn it around. Some people don't want to turn it around because, they want those picks. And I can see that point. I can absolutely see that point. I'm not going to argue against anything like that. I'm just saying, for me, I can't do that yet. It's too early in the season. Now, once we're mathematically out, Because four losses is not mathematically out. It's just how you look right now with these 4 losses, and you don't see any wins coming. 1-4 can easily turn into 1-5, 1-6, 1-7, and then you're really out. Like, you're really out. But that's going to be the video. I want to thank everybody for surviving with me. Please like, comment, and subscribe. From one Giants fan to another, this is Big Dash Knows, Big Blue Nation. Let's go.